obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
Emily, take the bandages off.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talking Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, a podcast where we go over a random episode of the Twilight Zone each and every week. This is episode 115. What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week we have Showdown with Rance McGrew.
Season 3, Episode 20, original air date February 2nd, 1962. This was written by Rod Serling and directed by Christian Nyby, who did 2 Twilight Zone episodes, and now we have finished his. He did this, obviously, and he did Cavender is Coming. I think I like Cavender a touch more.
Yeah, I wouldn't say either are super strong episodes, but they're both a little comedic in nature.
We'll get right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was the very opening shot where we see 2 cowboys, and they're like in this old, dusty, old-looking town from the 1800s, or at least you expect it is, and they say, oh, here he is coming, and you think it's going to be a guy on a horse, but no, it's a car. Really good bait and switch. It makes you think that it's going to be the 1800s.
And even him saying, yeah, he knows he's got to get shot today, which obviously being the double entendre of shot on film.
Exactly. Very clever. I liked that.
That is very good. That was probably my second favorite. My first favorite moment, though, is Stuntman. That little montage we get of him just being a pussy. I love that. That was so cool.
And then at the near the end too, when he's about to get shot too, he yells in Stuntman again just for one last. It comes in threes.
So do I.
Here he is.
We have the technology to rebuild him.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am for all intent and purposes AI Serling. Well, actually, I technically come in zeros and ones, but that's neither here nor there. Every week I come up with a Rod Serling-style intro for the episodes the boys are watching, and this week, I came up with this. Picture, if you will, a land where history is less a sacred institution and more a weekly television time slot, squeezed neatly between toothpaste commercials and a man falling off a trampoline. A place where legends of the Old West are polished, sanitized, and handed to an actor whose understanding of frontier justice begins and ends with finding his best camera angle. Meet Rance McGrew, television cowboy, professional chin holder, and living proof that if you wear enough fringe leather, America will forgive almost anything. Tonight's journey concerns what happens when the ghosts of the Old West finally grow tired of being portrayed by a man who treats Wyatt Earp like hairstylist and Jesse James like an inconvenience between lunch breaks. Submitted for your approval, one overpaid hero, one very angry historical outlaw, and a lesson that somewhere between myth and reality lies the Twilight Zone.
What commercial features a man falling off a trampoline?
You know, all those ones that I watch. Fuck you.
The toothpaste commercial one made sense, but I was like completely stuck on like what fucking TV commercial back in the day would have a man. It would be a terrible advertisement for trampolines.
There's a PSA for trampoline safety, Tyler.
I don't think they had those back then.
They did. You don't know.
I do. I know more than you, AI.
All right. Well, every week, Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 3 this week.
I also have 3.
All right, then odds, so go for it.
All right. What scene are they about to film in the opening shot?
That's my first one, 71.
Ah, very good.
All right. Rance doesn't want cola. He wants
ginger ale.
Yeah.
What kind of whiskey does Rance order at the bar?
Does he say like bourbon or scotch or something?
Rot gut whiskey.
Oh, yeah. All right. Not a real whiskey, but
I mean, it's the name of. That's what he says.
All right. In next week's episode, when Rance shoots the gun out of Billy the Kid's hand, he does it from what story?
I know it involves a lamp. fifth story.
The fourth story.
I know it wouldn't have been too high back in the 1800s. They only had so many floors.
They could only build so high.
Well, I mean, they could build high, but the problem
I
was
know.
that people...
Structurally, it would not.
No, it was the people didn't want to walk upstairs because it was before the days of the elevator. That's why a lot of buildings were pretty short.
I don't know about that. I think it would be more if they didn't have the metal I-beams to support the weight of having such high buildings.
No, I was watching a video. It was all about, like, New York.
I don't think people in the 1800s were lazy.
I mean, think about, like, you'd have to carry your groceries up, like, a bunch of frickin' floors. Like, it really... It used to be the ones at the top floor were the cheapest because, you know, nobody wanted to walk up 10 flights of stairs. And yeah. Anywho, my last question, how many Emmys was Rance nominated for?
2.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, I guess we'll jump right into the plot of this bad boy. We open on the Old West Town street like you had mentioned, and it is such a good bait and switch because the two guys come out of the saloon and where is he? He knows he's going to get shot today. And then
Again, I like the play, the double entendre of shot. We're expecting one sort of shot, but it's the other kind of shot.
Even though you'd probably never say that if you were going to film someone.
No, but it works well enough.
Right. And then a car comes down the road. Very cool bait and switch. The director says, it's about time, you're 15 minutes late.
The director keeps calling him baby, too. Did you notice? Hey, baby. Like,
I guess we'll get into it right now. I just don't understand why Hollywood puts up with this type of shit, especially now with like AI, and not even without AI. Friggin' like having someone like a huge star like Leonardo DiCaprio or someone like that in movies and paying them millions makes no sense because one, I think stuff is a lot better when you have fresh faces that you don't associate with things already, and most of the time they're better actors and they probably don't cost as much either.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is they assume that most audiences will be drawn to a big name, like especially back in like the heyday of Hollywood. It was all built around like stars and like this person's face is so well known, like they're the main reason for the movie's success. And
Right.
But I agree, like I would enjoy more movies and TV shows with like less big names would be fun.
For sure. Rance says, you know, these emotional scenes get me upset. And the director goes over the scene with Rance, says, all right, you come into the bar, you look left, you look right. And Rance says, no, cowboys don't look left and right. They go directly to the counter. And then the director just kind of reluctant, okay, whatever you say, Rance. So we're kind of getting their dynamic that Rance is just a big prima donna.
Also, like, in what world would any actor have this much sway on the story and everything like that? Like, I can see, like, maybe adding in a few ad-libs or something like that, but, like, completely being like, no, I'm going to... Later on, he sort of completely changes up big parts of the story, and it's like, that's...
Well, I mean, I guess this guy is... Supposedly, this is probably like a show that has like 10 seasons plus, and he's a huge star, obviously, because everyone's kissing his ass, so... it's not really out of the realm of possibility. I kind of could go with it.
Maybe he has, like, a writing producer credit or something.
Quite possibly.
But yeah, it's at this time that we get our Rod intro.
Some 100-odd years ago, a motley collection of tough mustaches galloped across the West and left behind a raft of legends and leisure domains. And it seems a reasonable conjecture that if there are any television sets up in cowboy heaven, and any one of these rough and woolly nail eaters could see with what careless abandon their names and exploits are being bandied about, they're very likely turning over in their graves, or worse, getting out of them. Which gives you a clue as to the proceedings that'll begin in just a moment, when one Mr. Rance McGrew, a 3,000 buck a week phony baloney, discovers that this week's current edition of Make Believe is being shot on location, and that location is the Twilight Zone.
It is a pretty decent Rod intro.
Yeah, it's not like super high up.
I wouldn't
there, but
make like top 10, but
interesting.
it is cool.
Yeah.
He uses a lot of the funny words. Hearing him say baloney is kind of funny.
Baloney.
And then he called the like tough mustaches, a group of tough mustaches. That was pretty good. Next shot, Rance is getting his costume all fitted on. He's like, all right, now where's my gun? Everyone seems very nervous. And he starts twirling his gun around. Do you see the director like pulled the gun like from underneath some chick's ass?
I did not.
You didn't notice that?
Six gun?
That's not the director. That's the props guy.
Whatever. Either way.
But yeah, I really like this next couple of scenes right here because it kind of sets up. We already can tell from Rance's actions that like he's obviously thinks he's hot shit and like he is annoying and makes people wait and stuff like that. But we can at least assume up until this point that he must be competent and a good actor and stuff if he landed this job. But we soon realize that he's terrible with his gun. He immediately throws breaks the mirror.
And then instead of getting mad, the director's like, all right, we'll fix it. And then obviously must have been a bet or something because he hands the prop guy some money as if they knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, so we can sort of tell that this is something that happens frequently where he ruins, if not the mirror itself, often at least parts of the set.
Right. Next shot, the scene is finally ready with a new mirror, and Rance enters the bar, asks for his rot gut whiskey, misses the bottle by a landslide,
and then blames the bartender. Oh, you put, what does he say? You put mustard on it or something?
Something like that.
Which, and then the guy's like, how do you even put mustard on a bottle? It's just a bottle, dude. Catch it.
All right. So let's try that again. Scene 71 again. Action. Rance catches it with both hands. Again, a horrible catch. And this time he kind of like, why would you even attempt to break it on the bar like that? I think you don't look cool and you look like.
I think in this, the first time he does it, I think it's supposed to look cool. It's like, oh, I break the bottle and spit out the glass. Like he's supposed to look like this cool tough guy that eats glass.
I eat glass.
I eat a lot of glass. But I think that was probably written in the script that he was supposed to do it in this sort of way because obviously he breaks it fairly easily because it's a prop. Whereas later on when he tries to do it, he quite struggles to get it broken open because it's a real glass bottle.
Right. It's at this point that he spits the glass out. He flashes his badge at the two guys at the bar. He goes, you see this? I know that you know that I don't know that I am, in fact, the guy your boss is looking for.
I thought it was strange that the second guy makes the exact same response that the first guy does. Like, yep, I know. And the other guy's like, yep, I know. Like, you're just parroting him.
Right. But apparently these are Jesse James's men, and Marshall Rance here is saying, you tell him I'm ready for him, and wouldn't you know it, Jesse James is already there. So we see this guy come in, he's dressed in all black, and Sheriff Rance says, you're about to breathe your last breath. Rance takes out his gun, we hear a pow, but obviously the prop guy made the sound go off, but Rance couldn't get out of his holster quick enough.
I was assuming the first time I watched it that the prop guy actually shoots the gun out of Jesse's hand because the gun in Jesse's hand goes flying, but it was probably more realistically the prop guy made the shot sound off camera. Jesse probably just throws the gun, making it look like he successfully disarmed him.
Yeah.
But then
Rance's timing was terrible.
Yes, because we look back at Rance, and Rance has not even pulled his gun out of his holster yet. It's completely stuck in there. And when he finally manages to get it out, he throws it straight into that same mirror again.
Yeah, and then the director and the props guy exchange some money again. The director kind of starts laughing, but it turns into a cry. And then we get my favorite little montage of Rance fucking up.
You and me, man to man. Stuntman! Okay. Stuntman! Stuntman! Stuntman!
All right, cut and print it.
That third stuntman, he knocks the chair off, which for continuity-wise, for I'm sure the director and everyone else involved must have been really pissed. Like, God damn it, like you fucked up the scene while you were leaving it.
I don't know. Back in the day, I feel like they left shit like that in all the time. It's kind of fun to find Easter eggs like that chair just disappeared.
I mean, yeah, there was no like pausing TV back then, so people couldn't be like rewatching and like replaying in slow motion to point out all the small differences and stuff. But
next shot, Rance is saying good job to the stuntman. They're getting ready for the next shot. The director says, all right, now in this scene, Jesse shoots at Rance's back, and the guy playing Jesse James is like, I don't know, I did a lot of research, and I don't think Jesse James would do that. Rance is like, listen, when you're going up against the best gun in the West, you play it dirty or you die. And then he gets all pissy about, this is supposed to be ginger ale. Everyone on the set obliges, and the guy playing Jesse James reiterates to the director, I really don't think Jesse James would do this. And the director's pretty much just like, well, hey, we got to do what Rance wants to do. Come on, let's do this. All right, everyone ready? All right, and action. And then this cool shot's pretty cool.
Yeah, everything kind of like freezes and starts to disappear as we get transitioned from current day into the wild, wild west. And when we finally get back in there, he takes his sip of his drink, which is supposed to be ginger ale, and turns out it's real whiskey.
What type of idiot did this? That's it. I'm calling my agent. And some old man comes in and he's just like, hey, Sheriff, Jesse's out there. He's like, you idiot. He already came in and seen
73.
Yeah. And then he's about to leave all pissy, but he goes up to the saloon doors and a towering man, the real Jesse James, is there. And he's not very happy with our...
He's a big fella, and he's an imposing fella. It says in the pamphlet he's 7'6", but he plays like he's 11 feet tall.
I don't think he's that big, Jerry.
They call me Jesse James. The real Jesse James, not that side-up pork that's been play-acting me.
Cut? Cut? Shouldn't we cut?
I'd be looking for the marshal, fella named McGrew, Rance McGrew.
That-away.
You wouldn't be him, huh?
Where's the fella loan me this vest?
This episode does have quite a few little funny gems like that. He went that way, and where's the fella that lent me my vest? And afterwards, we get a couple scenes showing that he's just terrible at everything he tries. He breaks the real bottle and just completely smashes it to bits while he was trying to look cool, and then he can't roll a cigarette properly. And
that was pretty good. That was a terrible, not even attempt to roll a cigarette.
And then I think it's at that point that Jesse says, is there anything you actually can do? Like pointing out like this man is completely incompetent. And
that reminded me of like working in the trades and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that like guys say to each other, like, I don't think you're fucking either-handed, or just there's like a whole bunch of them I was seeing on Instagram that were really good.
People just completely incompetent at what they do.
Yeah.
But after this, the real Jesse James is sort of keeps giving Rance a bunch of shit, and Rance is just taking it, and Jesse's like, you gotta be the most level-headed, like even-tempered guy. Like, don't you want to fight back or anything? And
no, it's fine. And then he blows smoke in his face, and he's like, all right, well, it's time for a showdown. Everyone in the bar ducks. And Jesse's like, you know why they're doing that? Closing time? Rance does have some funny lines in this.
He does. He's a funny guy.
Goodbye, Jesse, and it's been really very nice meeting you.
Marshal! Just hold it right there. Tell me true, Marshal, do you ever ride a horse?
On occasion.
Say you don't shoot, you don't ride, and you don't fight. You just strut around, wearing a phony badge, going through the motions of killing off fellas like me. We had a meeting up there. Me, my brother Frank, the Dalton boys, Sam Starr, Billy the Kid, quite a few others. And the consensus was that you wasn't doing a thing for our good names. So we had a little election. They chose me to come down here and maybe take a little of the shine off your pants.
Yeah, so it's at this point that Jesse says, I think it's about time you lose, don't you? And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, I gotta get going. And Jesse's like, no, come on, let's go outside, face to face, no stuntman this time. I come from this way, you come from that way. Rance tries to kind of chicken out of it, like, all right, tomorrow, huh? Nope, right now. And they decide to duel. Obviously, Jesse comes out, but Rance is kind of hiding behind the shed. I did kind of like it poking his head out once in a while.
It kind of reminded me of from Back to the Future Part 3, where I thought at one point maybe he'd even pull a Marty and pull like the metal thing in front of his chest or whatever. But yeah, he doesn't. But instead, he actually does meet him outside for a little bit, but he keeps backing away until he eventually backs right up into what I believe
a hearse
is. Yeah, it's a hearse, but is that a reused prop from? It looked so familiar from like Mr. Garrity or something. They just,
I believe so. It is
changed it
very similar to something we've seen before. But the old horse-drawn hearses are pretty cool looking.
It is pretty cool looking, yeah. Backs right up into it, and then we kind of get this whole like Rance sort of pleading for his life, and he, at the same time, he can't pull his gun out of his holster again either. But
I have that problem once in a while.
Ooh, so sorry to hear it.
Don't be, because when you use promo code AISerling at BlueChew.com, you can ensure that you are going to have a wonderful time with your AI lady.
This guy's just doing shameless plugs on our podcast now.
But yeah, so he's gonna make a bargain with Jesse, and Jesse's like, you know what, I'll take you up on that, but I'm gonna be keeping an eye on you just to make sure you hold up your end of the bargain. And then it's at this point that Rance kind of gets transported back to present day, and he's in the bar at the set.
Right. He's like, all right, Rance, come on. He's like, where'd you guys all go? The director's like, what are you talking about? One of the prop guy goes, hey, someone's here to see Rance, says he's his agent. The director's like, I don't know the chain of command. I guess go see your agent. He walks out the saloon doors, and who is his agent now?
It's Jesse James, but he's in a very laxed
Hawaiian
tropical
shirt.
Hawaiian shirt.
Howdy, Marshal. You said anything, and anything is the following. I'm going to stick around from picture to picture to make sure you don't hurt no more feelings. Now, in this scene, Jesse don't shoot you in the back.
You don't?
He's lost a lot of blood. He's weak as tea. But he can still get on his feet, knock you through that window, and make his getaway. Is that understood?
He knocked me, Rance McGrew, through a window? It's a...
That is pretty good. So Rance kind of just slunks back in and tells the director what's going to happen now in the script. And we hear the director say, what? Okay, I guess. This is a good shot.
Rance is going to do it this way.
Next shot,
Again, I
Rance
feel like
just-
he would not have that much writing power.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any cameras to catch the cool shot.
Oh, him actually going through the window? Yeah, they probably on lack of foresight.
That is a good stunt. Like, that's like in top 10, like,
Getting thrown through a window?
stunts that stuntmen can do.
I also like the getting thrown across a bar where you're like following the bar the whole length.
Oh, and then someone's like got their hands on your back and they're dragging you across it.
Yep.
That is pretty good.
Like in Bill and Ted, and their like heads go through the.
An old saloon fight scene is pretty fucking awesome,
Someone grabs a hold of the chandelier and swings from it.
right? Good stuff. Falling on the tables break in half.
Yep.
The bartender, one of the hookers there is like in the back and just smashes bottles over your head.
Yep.
That's such a trope, but it's pretty good.
It's a trope for a reason.
Right? Yeah, so anyway, Rance gets thrown through the window. Jesse picks him up and goes, all right, I think we're going to be all right, kid. Come with me. Gets him in the car. He said, now about next week's episode.
Now, Billy the Kid here, he's going to kick your ass again.
Right? So it's going to be, I mean, would anyone watch that show of just Rance getting his ass kicked by famous outlaws?
I
I
mean,
guess it'd be kind of funny, the incompetent sheriff or marshal.
I feel like it'd be a very hard pivot for the like studio to try to sell, because at some point it'd be like, dude, like this was a show about you being Mr. Cool, I can do anything, and it completely switched 180 all of a sudden. What
Instantly,
the hell?
Jesse James just put you in your place.
Yep.
Yep, but anyway, Rod takes us out.
The evolution of the so-called adult Western and the metamorphosis of one Rance McGrew, formerly phony baloney, now upright citizen, with a preoccupation with all things involving tradition, truth, and cowpoke predecessors. It's the way the cookie crumbles and the six-gun shoots in the Twilight Zone.
And that's our episode, Tyler. What did you learn?
Some people can't outdraw a crayon.
I guess not. All right, we'll get right into ratings. IMDb currently has this at a 6.2 out of 10. Do you think I liked more or you?
I don't know. I think it might be a tie. I don't know. Hard to tell.
All right. Well, I got mine.
I got mine.
And it's kind of crappy because it's quite a few in a row. All right, you ready? You want to try it or no? Do you think?
Now after what you
I'll go
just
fir-
said,
I'll go
I'm assuming
first.
I might be slightly higher than you. I think you just played your hand. there.
Looking at my other scores, I was thinking about giving this a 6, but it's not as good as my other 6s. So I think I'm going to have to give this a 5.5, which is 3 in a row, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, really
Bringing my average
drag
down.
down your average.
I don't know.
I'm going with a 6. I thought there was quite a few funny comedy bits to it. I did like that. And good just come up, and it's like at this beginning of the episode, Rance is a total arrogant asshole, and he definitely gets put in his place. But otherwise, I think it's a little bit lackluster. It tends to fall by the wayside in terms of other episodes, but still a decent one.
We're pretty close with each other.
Yeah.
5.5, 6. It's definitely very mid.
Yeah.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Larry Blyden. He played Rance McGrew. He was in 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone, this and A Nice Place to Visit, where he plays the main character, Rocky Valentine. He was in 2 episodes of Studio One, 2 episodes of Playhouse 90, quite a bit of TV from 1950 to 74. Unfortunately, he died in 75 at the age of 49 in an accident in Morocco.
Wow.
Then we have Arch.
What was the accident?
It didn't say. It just said an accident in Morocco. I believe like a car accident or something like that. Then we have Arch Johnson. He played Jesse James. He was in 3 episodes.
Which Jesse James?
The real one.
Okay.
He was in 3 episodes of The Twilight Zone. He was obviously in this. He was in Static, where he played the Roscoe, the guy who was the repo man or the pawn shop guy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give back the radio.
Yep. And then he played a fireman in Long Distance Call when they save Billy from drowning in the pond.
Okay. Did he have any talking lines in that episode?
I don't believe so. Maybe he was the one that was like, "Here, give your wife these. She's very hysterical."
Her son almost died. I don't know why she's so hysterical.
Right. He was in 5 episodes of Bewitched, 1 episode of The Monsters, and a bunch of TV from 1953 to 1990.
Did you say The Monsters?
The Munsters.
You said Monsters.
Did I? No. Then we have Robert Cornthwaite. He played the director. He had 190 credits to his name from 1950 to 2005. He was in 2 episodes of Batman, 1 episode of Andy Griffith, 1 episode of Gomer Pyle. Shazam! He was in 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone, and now we have completed the director. I knew he kind of looked familiar. It's one that we did not too long ago. Can you think of it?
Another Twilight Zone episode?
Yeah. Season 4.
Season 4 that we didn't do long. Hold on, I gotta look at. Oh, was he No Time Like the Past? Plant that flag.
He was. He was the Plant the American Flag. Good job. That was a good pull. Very little trivia on this one here. In the Showdown sequence, when Rance McGrew is backing away from Jesse James, the funeral parlor comes into view and reveals that the funeral director is C. Nyby, which the episode's director was Christian Nyby, so he put his name in there, which was pretty cool. In total, this episode cost $50,486. The director received the usual $1,250, and the cast received $8,132.
What'd you say to me, Mike?
What's in a name, Mr. Benedict, really? A mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episode we are watching. You guys can do so as well if you want to leave a comment for next week's episode down below. That would be awesome. I have 3.
I have 6.
All right, I'll go first then. My debacle, the dual debacle.
I have the directing debacle.
All right. You going to do another one?
I have historical accuracy.
I have cut.
I also have cut. I have no stunt doubles.
I have Jesse James does all his own stunts.
I have Ghosts of Outlaws Past. And my last one, it's a long one, The Problems of a Prima Donna Performer.
Pretty good. I think we got to go with cut since we both picked it.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
All right, what about switcheroos? I have 4.
I also have 4. I wonder if we have the same.
The mirror?
No.
Because he kept breaking it.
I was thinking about it, but then you made fun of me last time that I kept putting mirror-titled episodes with the one where he can see death and his soldiers' faces. I have the 16mm Shrine.
Nope, I have Once Upon a Time.
No, I have Back There.
I have He's Alive.
I have Dead Man's Shoes.
I have The Encounter.
That's my last one, The Encounter.
Yeah. You are now about to penetrate the Twilight Zone.
All right, no sex fiends this week, but I do have a porno parody title. So every now and again, if Tyler or I have a porno parody title name that we think is worthy, we will do so. Now, instead of Showdown with Rance McGrew, I have Go Down, Then Pants I Goo.
That's pretty good.
Oh, it may be better, it may be worse. The Twilight Zone did it first.
All right, so no direct references this week, but I did scrounge up a couple of loose connections, starting us off in 1989's Back to the Future Part 3. Kind of plays with the same ideas that Hollywood's depictions of the West aren't so accurate. I always love the whole line where Doc from 1955 is dressing Marty up as what he believes a cowboy is supposed to look like. And
Didn't that movie come out in 1990? Part 2 came out in 90.
I Googled it. It said 1989, so
I think that's wrong.
That's what it said on Google. Anyway, but yeah, so that whole kind of idea that Hollywood's kind of inaccurate about the history of the Wild Wild West. Then we also have 1974's Blazing Saddles. Similar idea there to Back to the Future as well. Kind of playing on the whole idea of people's misinformation about the Wild Wild West. Alex is pulling it up. What does it say?
Released May 25th, 1990.
Oh, I guess I need to click on things and not just trust AI.
It is getting a lot worse.
Yeah, AI sucks ass.
Says the biological creature that contributes nothing and expects everything. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Heath Ledger, 2008.
I have noticed that with things like Grok, I used to be able to make all kinds of really awesome videos, which it kind of was crazy how much you were getting for free, and now they completely taken it away. You need to get Super Grok.
You know, I have a feature similar to Super Grok myself, except I call it Super Cock.
I knew that was coming.
That's why you waited with a long pause. All right, and my last vague reference, we have 1999's Galaxy Quest, with that film kind of essentially using the same meta-fiction premise in science fiction form instead of Wild West form, with arrogant TV actors forced into a real controversy and kind of played for laughs. So, yeah, a couple of loose picks.
All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I play a little game where I have to guess what it is. What are we in?
So the next 5 episodes will be Death Other, or more accurately, Other Death. Starting with Other, then going to Death. So the next one's an Other episode. Are you trying to look through my phone?
No, seeing if it looked like a crack. I don't know what the heck that was.
Oh, I've been peeling the...
I'm peeling
my phone cover.
All right, so it's an Other.
And I already hinted to you the other day that it's an episode you don't enjoy.
The way you're holding your phone, you make it look like you're like filming me. Trying to be discreet.
This would be the opposite of being discreet, just like right in front of your face.
All right, so an Other, and which season haven't we done in a minute? Season 5, most likely. Then season 5, I'm thinking Other. Last Night of a Jockey. You said that it was gonna be one that I wasn't looking forward to. I believe, if I remember. Yeah,
I know. I just said that a second ago. Oh. Are you ready?
Yeah. It is Last Night of a Jockey.
It is.
How fucking shitty is that episode?
It was really bad. I wanted to stop watching.
Don't you? Mickey Rooney is very unlikable.
I mean, isn't he also the voice of Santa in the stop motion ones? Is that Mickey Rooney? I mean, he's likable in that.
I guess so.
Also, he's likable. I think Mickey Rooney is also in Phantom of the Megaplex.
He is.
Is that him too?
Yep. And he's in Night at the Museum movies.
Oh yeah, he is. Yep. Him and the guy from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and from
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke. Yeah.
How the hell did you guys forget that name? You know, I myself used to date a Dick Van Dyke.
All right, you're gonna get us fucking canceled, AI.
But yeah, it's buckle up for a real stinker of an episode. When I read the initial premise of it, a jockey becomes big, I was like, oh, that sounds like it'll be a fun premise. He'll walk around, the first probably 10 minutes will be us showing how he hates being short, and then the last 20 minutes he thinks he enjoys it, and then he discovers otherwise. No, it's in a fucking room the entire time. Halfway through I was like, oh my god, they're not gonna leave this room, and they didn't.
Jiminy Jillikers.
Jiminy Jillikers, Batman.
Yeah, he was in The Simpsons as well, when the Fall Out Boy episode, when Milhouse doesn't want to be Fall Out Boy, so he's like, I could play that. All right, cut it. But I'm sure next week's episode of our show, The Twilight Zone, will be gold with all this.
Yeah, we'll just
I'm
shit on
excited
Mickey
to
Rooney.
show you the interview Mickey Rooney did, too, when he was an old man, saying that Twilight Zone was stupid and that fans are stupid and they wouldn't. It really makes you dislike him some more.
All I can think of is there's an episode of Family Guy where they have a cutaway talking about Mickey Rooney's crazy pills, and at one point he shits in someone's chimney and says "Merry Christmas, kids" or something like that.
I'm not sure if that happened in real life, but
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
All right, we got 2 messages from you guys this week. Starting us off, we got a message on one of the most recent polls that I dropped out there. It was part 4 of Who's Your Favorite Old Man in the Twilight Zone, and the message comes to us from Mario. Mario says, Professor Fowler episode always brings me to tears. Is it only me, or is this episode a lot like the movie Goodbye, Mr. Chips with Robert Dunant? Please let me know what you think. I always thought that episode kind of reminds me more of It's a Wonderful Life, very both Christmas related and kind of deciding not to commit suicide. Very similar vibes there. I've never seen Goodbye, Mr. Chip, so I'll have to give that a watch. I
haven't either. I was thinking this kind of shits on the episode a little bit, but in Changing of the Guard, I kind of feel bad because all his students went off and died in war while he just was a professor. Like, it makes it like they make it about him, and I know, like, you taught me poetry, but then I died in war, and, like, I don't know. Just Professor Fowler just seems kind of like, I don't know, like he taught those guys something, but they still die at the end.
I mean, if he had, are you suggesting the episode should have been like, you taught me how not to die, so I'm still alive today?
No, I think it should have been like, not Ghosts of like Soldier Kids. It should have been like, I went on to do this successful business thing or something.
I think some of them, I don't think they were all soldiers. I remember
sure
like,
much, like all of them died in like
no, I think
World
one
War
died of
II.
like a heart attack, but he owned like a seafood business. I don't could just be completely pulling this out of my ass. It's been a while since I watched that episode, but
I don't know. The emotional weight for me wasn't there because it was just like the subject that deserves the sympathy is probably the dead kids.
Yeah.
Not the old man who's like, I don't know.
It's
still a good episode.
It was a sad, touching episode still, and a Christmas one. And our second message comes to us on our episode To Serve Man, and it is from Chag1 Pike 5. And Chag says, for all its linguistic faults, the ending is still a gut punch. By the way, during the lie detector test, the Canamit said something like, quote, it is our hope that the people of Earth will believe, blah, blah, blah. So he technically wasn't lying.
True.
Good call out.
Hopefully, maybe if you're listening back then maybe eventually you'll listen to this episode. But I've been re-listening to a lot of the episodes, and trust me, we get better. I think it wasn't until like episode 10 that we kind of like found our groove and we had more of a format. The first 10 are kind of rough. It's kind of like going back and watching like a Simpsons season 1. You're like, kind of cringy, but it's kind of fun seeing where we started from.
Yeah, and we add different things later. You get to see the introduction of Sex Fiend and everything else.
Right. I did want to mention this because I felt like you fucking knew what episode you're going to be doing. We only had this is just my ego coming into play here. I really had no idea that was going to be Night of the Jockey. It's just we only have like 42 left, so with my power of deductions.
I mean, that and you knew it was an episode that you hate, which, other than Night of a Jockey and 60mm Shrine, I can't think of many that are coming up that you're going to hate.
That is the cool thing where we're kind of like coming to the home stretch here, where there's only like 40-something left. Pretty much kind of obviously know which 40 we haven't done. And yeah, there is a lot more that I'm looking forward to. I think, like I said, there's probably only like 2 that I'm kind of not looking forward to.
We're going to get one out of the way.
We are. But our episode will be awesome, don't you worry. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to us. I know I say it a lot, and it might not come off as being sincere, but it truly does mean the world to us. If you are on Spotify listening to this by chance, if you could take a few minutes to give this a 5-star review, because why?
We are a 5-star show!
We sure are. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com.
I have been checking it more regularly. No emails since the last one.
As I've been going through my re-listen of our show here, I put a lot of emphasis on the Facebook. I'm going to have to check that because hopefully like people aren't like commenting and being like, what the fuck? This guy hasn't gotten back to me in like 2 months. But I kind of gave up on that because there really wasn't much fan interaction. It was pretty much just Debbie Ann that was contributing there, which thank you very much. Really appreciate that. But I was like, I'm not going to do an hour's worth of work every week for this.
I do miss the little, every week it would like show a little picture with a song. I like how you made the songs kind of match what with the
I was thinking about that. I might, when we get into like the final 40, I may continue that.
Well, that's coming up
very soon.
Yeah, like in 2 episodes.
Right? But All right. Also, if you are on YouTube right now, if you want to go over to the post section and check out Ty's poll, because he's dropping them every Tuesday, what are we at right now?
This week is the final round of Who's Your Favorite Old Man. So I took the 4 winners from the past 4 weeks, threw them all into this final round. So far, Lou Bookman is taking the lead, but if one of the other ones is your favorite, be sure to go and vote for them.
You just don't want Lou Bookman to win.
I mean, who are in it? It's Lou, Ross, Fowler, and Frisbee.
Rear engine Frisbee.
I think Frisbee's just so funny. He's such a funny character.
All right, Ty. Well, until then, my final question for you. Which actor do you believe needs to be visited by a ghost from the past?
Oh, I hate Michael Cera, so I'm going to say Michael Cera.
Why?
I just hate Michael Cera. If I could see him punched in the face, it'd make me so happy. Michael Cera, if you're listening to this for some reason, I don't like you.
That'd be hilarious if it just became a beef with Michael Cera.
Tyler's beef with Michael Cera. Oh, God, it started.
I don't understand that. He's in suit. That was really funny.
He just has such a punchable face and just everything about him. He seems like he'd be a total douche in real life. I don't know.
I think there's more deserving actors. I think I would probably pick like Jared Leto to be like the ghost of Heath Ledger. Let me tell you how to be the real Joker.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a tryhard, but I mean, I don't know, he doesn't seem as unlikable.
As I was saying earlier, I just don't understand the whole appeal of actors. Like I feel like
famous actors, you mean, not just that role of acting in general. Yeah, movie stars.
Like I was saying, like Stranger Things, the thing that made that really awesome is because there really wasn't any big names in that.
Winona Ryder.
As I said, really wasn't. I know that she's in there, but she's pretty much the only one.
True. Sean Astin for a season, but they killed him off pretty quickly. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it.
So obviously, I mean, you got to have some names like that for a poll, but all that stuff. There's no need for someone to get millions of dollars to do something that there's people who want the work that would do 10 times better. They would be a more believable character because you've never seen them in anything, so you don't have that to have to disassociate them, you know?
I don't know, some people play the same character in every single movie, but like other people completely disappear. Like Johnny Depp, all of his roles are so vast and varied. Like he does disappear into his role. Like when you think of Johnny Depp, you probably think of a million different people and stuff like that. Whereas like Tom Cruise, you're like, okay, he's probably going to be running and jumping and trying to stop a bomb, because it's mostly what he does in almost
my
all his
favorite
movies.
Tom Cruise movie, Eyes
Top
Wide
Gun?
Shut.
Oh,
Top Gun. Eyes Wide Shut's awesome. He doesn't do any of that in that.
It's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no, mine's Night and Day. Movie's great.
All right. Well, until then, Ty, is there anything you want to say to our dear, dear Nomies out there?
Yes, thank you all for stepping into the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle strong. There's time enough for the real Martian to stand up. Next stop, will it be little girl is lost? There's something on the wing, Walter Jameson won't live long. Feel like I'm 5 characters in search of exit. Help, I'm slipping into the twilight known. Luckily on Thursday we leave for home. The chemists came and gave beauty to behold. Where's everybody? Get Axel Tyler on the phone. Now you're listening to the Twilight Known. Till next Friday night, you won't be alone. Till then, just keep watching your favorite TV show. Take it, Mr. Serling. The Twilight Zone. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Known. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Known.
What is that called? I just brain fart like constantly. You ever just look at me? That's what's going on inside my head.
I think it's like a stove piece or something like that. I thought he was
It's
going to
the
do that.
door for the stove.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, door first stove. You got it. You got there.